This video is sponsored by Rockland Flooring. Visit our website for more information.
This week, On the Road is living up to its name as we hit the road for Indianapolis, home of the annual Work Truck Show. In this video, we'll recap the news and the talk from the show and take our audience through what we saw there. Let's take a look. Held every year in Indianapolis, the Work Truck Show is a major showcase for the medium-duty truck industry. This year there were more than 500 exhibitors and 22 press conferences were held, so there was quite a bit of news being made at the show and a lot to see. EVs and electrification were the focus of this year's Work Truck Show. It's been true for years at shows like this, so it should come as no surprise, especially for a show focused on the medium-duty space, where electrification adoption has been accelerating rapidly. What was telling about the EV technology being shown this year is that it was less focused on future concepts or even vehicles themselves, but on the practical ways that EVs can be used in today's fleets. This meant a lot of news and products being showcased around things like upfitting, truck bodies designed for EVs, storage solutions for tools, and other necessities. To kick off the show, Ford hosted a panel of van fleets who talked about their experience with EVs.
Well, we got a small business we got 12 all EV, and the funny part is I live in Canada in the North Coast, so if it's in winter, I'm affected. So the only thing I can say is start right now. Don't see the big picture. Start right now, start with one. You have to make some change, and if you start right now, you will be ready for later. Yes, it's not perfect. I don't say it's not perfect, it's not for everyone, but you should have at one place, one truck or van in your business that it can start. So start right now, you're gonna learn how it's work, and after you're gonna see how it's work, DC fast station, level 2 and stuff like that, and after you're gonna see a pump station and say, well, what is that? So, no, man, start right now, and we don't have any choice. We're going that way, and your customer is gonna love it. You need to decarbonize, you have less CO2. So if you make some start right now, will be better for later.
Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say for ours, grounded in our electrification journey, I think it's really important for companies and other fleet managers to not get analysis paralysis. Don't wait for 100% of the answers in the data. You will never get it. You will never take a step forward and start learning. So build the business case, gain buy-in from leadership, and if it's there, move forward, be bold, and figure it out as you go. There's a certain amount of that will happen, and the faster you jump in and start doing that, the faster you'll start working towards your company's sustainability goals, the sustainability targets your customers are going to start demanding if they aren't already, and further along this journey you'll be.
Ford also announced new enhancements to its E-Transit electric commercial van, including upgraded range and new charging options. Elsewhere at the show, Mack Trucks announced that its medium-duty MD Electric series has entered production and shared stories from customers who have had early access. They also gave those in attendance at their press conference a look at the market and projections for 2024 and beyond.
Trend, the black line represents the U.S. and Canadian gross domestic product. What we see here is a little bit of a normalization, which is fantastic. 2024 going in, perhaps in 2025, 2026, slightly below a normal percentage. Next, we're going to transition to a performance indicator that's more about the on-highway performance. We look at freight load and freight rates. The blue line, again, simply represents a normal trend that we see. The black on the load side represents freight movement. On the right side, we see freight rates or the price that a shipper receives on a per mile basis. Both see pressure, right? You see 2023 being a little bit below, and we see that continuing into 2024. It's important to note that when we talk about on-highway, and specifically the freight rates, there's a 4-year cycle that we typically see that ebbs and flows here. So we're in that cycle for this particular product. Conversely, I think it's also important to note that when this happens, when we see a dip in freight rate activity, we see about a 12-month lag time before that's reflected in our retail sales as well.
There was also news from Motive Power Systems, who delivered 5 electric step vans to a customer, and Ram Commercial, which launched its Ram Professional Business Unit, with part of its focus being on electrification and charging. There was also axe throwing? That's right, the Legend Fleet Solutions booth included a professional axe thrower and the opportunity to throw the axe yourself if you signed a waiver. This editor left the axe throwing to the professionals. Be sure to keep an eye on the Fleet Equipment site to see all of the news from the show.